So welcome everybody to this week's Budnick Nation training call. I'm really excited to present the call tonight. Kelly said to me, what should we name what you're going to talk about? And like, it's just basically what I wanted to have a chat with you guys about is how to not keep setting the same goals, how to really knuckle out where we might be going wrong. Can everyone hear me okay? Thumbs up. You can hear me good? Oh, cool. Told me my connection's unstable. But yeah, just working out where we might be, drifting off course and why we're not getting the results that we want. And sometimes it can be the littlest things that can completely defer us from our goals. So just really trying to bring them into the light for you and trying to work out the little skills and the little things that matter more than we realize sometimes, how important they actually are. So and now is such a great time. It's a new year, it's a fresh year, it's time to set some new goals. And, what's that? I love that saying, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a new result. So this is a new year, it's a fresh start. I think it's so important, and I know I speak in things like what I do to myself, and I assume that you guys do it too. So I know for me, I struggle. I have a mean girl. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. And sometimes she just goes to town on me. And, I really want to start my new year with a clean mind. I really encourage you guys to believe so deeply that at any moment you have always done the best that you can do. You've learned a lot and you're moving and you're growing all the time. Let stuff go. Just let it go. It's a new year. It's a fresh start, and it's time to create some exciting adventures and to grasp some new opportunities and things like that. So give yourself a break. If you're beating yourself up about not achieving anything, let that go. I know I can do that very easily, and I'm so passionate this year about letting that go. Clean mind, clean slate, new beginnings. Let's do this. So we all have so much going on. I think everybody can agree with that. We all have so much going on. I am such a believer in manifestation, and I'm such a believer in thoughts become things. I'm going to talk about that soon. So I really encourage you to pay attention to how often you say that you don't have enough time, because that's something that the more you say it, the more you feel it, the more it becomes your reality. And not to think that you're the only one with a really busy life without the time, because we are all in the same boat. I remember when I seen Tony Robbins in Sydney, and he said, don't you just think it's so unfair that people who work out every morning at the gym get that extra 2 hours a day than everybody else gets? And everyone sort of sat back, and he's like, for some reason, they just poof, these magical extra 2 hours. And it's so funny. It's so true. So, really understand the little things that we do. I suppose I remember once having I had a coach that I was paying for, and my coach said to me, imagine an entire year of your life if instead of watching movies and TV, in that time you read and grew. Imagine your skill and knowledge level at the end of that. Do you wish you did that last year? And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, do it this year. But before you know it, this year will be over too. I thought that's so true. Like, there are pockets of time, and it's so important to really grasp them. So I wanted to talk as well, guys. I'm such a believer that the reason people don't necessarily move immediately to where they want to go, and I'm sure you guys can relate, who feels like they want to go to the next level in their life, in their goals, in their relationships, business, spirituality, whatever, who wants to go to that next level so bad? All of us? Agreed? I believe with my entire heart and soul and being and everything that the only thing that stops people doing that is when they just don't know what to do next. Yeah, you feel stumped. What do I do next? Where do I go next? How do I, in all goal areas, not just business, but in everything. We hit that, we feel stuck, and we need to know what we need to do next. And I want you guys to know that that is such a good thing. You're not supposed to know the whole way. That's what makes it so exciting, is you have to grow and become somebody who discovers the way. The person you are today will not make you a national vice president. You need to grow and change and become the person who finds the way. Does that make sense? And amazing things happen when you believe. There is so much power when you believe and have faith in your goal, that even though you don't know the way, you believe it's going to happen, that's when all kinds of crazy stuff starts to happen and it starts to fall into play. But when you doubt yourself and beat yourself up, it's really difficult to move forward. It's really difficult to see the way, and it's really difficult to back yourself. And when you're not doing that, no one's going to join you because you don't look like someone who knows the way. Because you don't. That's cool. Does that make sense? I didn't just confuse you all too much, talking around in circles. It's okay to not know the way. That was my biggest message in that. And actually, Jim Rohn says, I've listened to a thing he not that long ago actually, and he was talking about how much, 90% of the world today is going to jobs that they hate, and like cripplingly hate. They're very miserable in their jobs. And, they get there, they know what they're going to get paid. They know the maximum that they're ever going to get paid. They know the highest levels they can achieve. There's no excitement in it. And he said it is the most self-esteem crushing thing in the world to continue to do that every day. And it's so true. It's so cool to be a part of something that you just don't know what's going to happen. The potential is limitless. It's really exciting. It's all up to you and how much you grow into it. So speaking of growing, getting out of your comfort zone is so, so critical. So, who's popped out and popped back in of their comfort zone? I know I've done that. Popped out for a bit, done a few star jumps, manifested some stuff, crap myself and jumped back in. Yeah, I've done that. Or who's like stuck a lot of their body out but just left their foot in the comfort zone. They just couldn't part with the comfort zone. So they got out a fair bit, spoke to a few strangers, made a few phone calls, but just couldn't fully get themselves out there yet. And honestly, guys, no momentum will come when any part of your being is in your comfort zone. Something almost magical happens when you step out of the comfort zone. It's like you're backed so much, and it's like you proving to yourself, to whatever you believe in, to the universe, to your God, to whatever, you're proving that you mean it and that you're going to do it and that you're here to make it happen. And they work with you, but while you're in that comfort zone, it's so difficult to create that and move forward. So I love that saying, it's the getting out of your comfort zone is the only way you will become the person that you want to be. And, it's easy to say, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, but having that detailed plan and knowing how you're going to get out of the comfort zone is so critical as well. So, because obviously it's very scary, and everyone's is completely different. My heart doesn't even skip a beat to hop up and speak I could talk in front of thousands of people. It doesn't bother me. I'm just lucky, I suppose. I don't know why. But I remember when we went on our VP retreat last year, and Cherie Kemp said to me, let's go down the main street and find some prospects and talk to some people. I crap my pants immediately. That scares me so much. Cherie's like, what? Why are you scared of that? I'm like, I don't know. I've got to make a conversation with a stranger. That is crippling to me. That was so big for me to overcome that. I'm such a chatty person with people I know. Yeah, I'll talk in front of a whole room of people as one, but to actually build rapport with someone is a scary thing for me. So everyone's is so different. I love Mel Robbins' 5-4-3-2-1 method. It rocks. When you see someone, or you've had great service at a shop, or someone's just popped into your mind and you've gone, oh, I didn't ask her to come over and have a look at my products, or I should offer her the business. I can't believe I've never even thought of her. Or her service today at this shop has been fantastic. I would just love to say to her, hey, I know this is random, but I have a business that I would love to show you. I think you would rock it. Finding that courage, the longer you think about it, the less likely you're going to do it. The longer you think about it, your brain, the fear is just going to send sensations through your entire body and paralyze you. You've got to act immediately. So think in your mind, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you better be dialing by the time you get to 1, or you won't ring them. Yeah? Can everyone agree with that? It's so true. And there is nothing. I remember my younger sister, Bree, is extremely shy, and she was talking to me about wanting to do the business, and she'd sort of come and go a bit. And the first time she made a call, she mentioned someone to me, and I said, I want you to call her right now. I want you to get on the phone and call her. And she's like, I can't do that. And anyway, she called her, and I was sitting with her and helping her through, and she hung up and she started just absolutely sobbing. And I said, what's the matter? Why are you crying? And she goes, she said, yes, I can't believe I just did it. I can't believe I did that. And then I looked over my shoulder and she's scrolling. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I've got someone else. I'm going to call them. So it, like, you know how I said miracles happen when you really push that comfort zone? It's so true. The harder you push it, the harder you get out, the bigger the miracle that's on the other side. I cannot promise you that enough. So reading helps you get out of your comfort zone so much. There's amazing what you will find in pages of books, and building up your beliefs. I believe in the 3 key beliefs. So you guys have probably heard this so many times, but it's the nuts and bolts to your business. Belief number 1 is in yourself. Belief number 2 is in network marketing, our industry, social marketing now. And belief number 3 is Arbonne, is our company. It's who we represent. So I strongly encourage you to every day spend 10 minutes in each area, just researching each area. If you read someone's story in network marketing for 10 minutes, your belief in our industry, I know myself, when I said yes, I thought I believed in network marketing. By the end of that year, my belief was rock solid. If someone said to me, network marketing doesn't work, I would say, we'll sit down and go head to head, because I will challenge you on every angle on why it does work. Because I had so much knowledge about the industry, about any questions that could come at me, and I knew how to handle it. And same with Arbonne. I knew the ins and outs of our product lines. I knew how fantastic they were. I knew how much they all worked. These things make such a difference to your business. They really do. They make such a difference in you and what you are presenting. Okay, so who's heard so much about goal setting? Who's heard every single goal setting training and it's just over and over and over again? I know. I was listening to Tony Robbins today. I love him. He's like my boyfriend on the side. He's fantastic. He's so great. And, you know, he talks a lot about goal setting and how it's the fundamental key to everything. And he said the problem with goal setting is everyone's talking about it all the time, that people actually underestimate how important it is. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll talk about goal setting again. Oh, yeah, goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. But do you know only 3% of the population actually sit down and set their goals and review them? 3%. That's crazy. Everyone else knows about them and knows how important they are, and even know that there's 3% that are doing it, that are achieving, and they still don't do it. They still don't sit down and put pen to paper and write very thorough, very understandable, very detailed goals. And it's so important. You know, he talked about how we build a wall of familiarity around our lives. And if you're so familiar with not setting goals, it's so hard to set goals. Do you know what I mean? When you've gotten through your entire life without ever sitting down and setting a goal, it's really hard to understand the importance of setting a goal and how writing it down is going to just make it come to reality. But there is something very powerful that happens when you put that pen to paper. And Tony Robbins said, you know, you don't just set them at New Year's, you set them monthly and you review them daily, because your goals will change, as you grow into the person who can achieve those goals. And he spoke about, you know, how important it is to understand how fundamental they are, obviously, and how to master doing this and it being a consistent thing. Because a lot of people will set goals, put them in a beautiful frame. They could be literally a professional vision board maker, because their vision boards, I've seen some, and they are remarkable over the last 5 years. I've seen some incredible things, but they get done every New Year's, and that's as far as it goes. And it's so important to understand that the power of goal setting is actually in the consistency part and the reviewing part. So, you know, he spoke a lot about basically looking at the whole world very, very differently to what we do now, and looking at it in a way that you get excited about the fundamentals, not bored by them, if that makes sense. So when you set a goal, you need to set a goal that ripples you to your core, you know, not paying the bills, but a goal that makes you excited, that energizes you, that makes you unable to stay in bed. And that happens when you get very, very thorough with your goals, like so thorough. They need to create emotion and create drive. He spoke about a study at Yale that they did not that long ago, and they interviewed the graduating class, and they asked them, going off into the future, how many of them had clear set goals, and 3% did. Then they followed up these Yale students in like 20 years' time, and would you believe that the 3% made more money than the other 97% put together. Isn't that insane? He's like, the power of setting goals is the biggest thing we underestimate, and it's the most powerful part, the most powerful part of a business. So set goals, design plans, and, you know, when I say design plans and understand your why, like why you're setting that goal. I love in School of Greatness how he talks about, you know, I think it's chapter 1 or chapter 2 where he breaks down how to set your goals. Has anyone read that? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's fantastic. And if you go to his website, you can print it out and it's amazing. He goes into each section of your life and shows you how to not only set a goal, but set a plan so that you understand what's important to reach that goal. Because sometimes we set a goal and then we vision having the goal, but we don't vision what we're going to do to get the goal. So, you know, you might set the goal. Say you set the goal to be Maui, right? For example, you set the goal to be an ENVP. And then you lay in bed at night and just imagine the palm trees at Maui. You imagine your bank account with $30,000 a month rolling in. You know, you imagine how you're going to spend that money, and you get lost in all of that. But at no point are you imagining writing on your calendar how full it is, driving from appointment to appointment, running coaching calls with 500 people on and what you're going to be talking about. And, you know, get lost imagining that, imagining how you're going to bring it to reality. All those little parts are so important. Don't just focus on the end, because you know what, guys, by the end, at the very end of everything, all you have is the person that you've become and the memories you have from the life you've created. That's it. And that is so, that just makes me get goosebumps. It's so exciting to know that I know I'm going to become that person, if that makes sense. So I've handwritten my goals, my notes, which is so bad because I can't even read my own handwriting. I remember myself when I first did this, and I printed out a Commonwealth Bank blank check, and I wrote $15,000 on it, that I was going to earn $15,000 in 1 month. And I set the goal for 12 months' time. I thought, this is so going to happen, and I stuck it right in the middle of my vision board, and I focused on it all the time, and I really cut out the dogma and everything going on around me, and I imagined how I was going to do that. I also had on my vision board, Nicole Barrett will remember because I remember her commenting on it, I had a big fully booked sign, like that each month would be fully booked and like things like that. Would you believe in 12 months' time, I earned my first $15,000 check? How crazy is that? That is nuts. I think that's nuts. You know what? After I stuck that check on that vision board, after I wrote out the goal and worked out numbers per month, how many people I need to sponsor to create those numbers, how I'm going to help them, and how I'm going to do this in my 2 hours a day, because that's all I had at the time to put to my Arbonne business. And I was so consistent and committed to those 2 hours a day. My confidence went through the roof. I knew what I was doing. I was on a mission, and that $15,000 check on my vision board was looking at me every day. My faith, I had unwavering faith. What Kelly was telling me that I needed to do, I would do. She's like, Dannii, you need to read this book. I just read it. It was fantastic. Stacey would contact me and say, have you seen these new ASVP packs? I'm doing this with it. And they've had amazing success. If they told me that, I had so much faith that it was going to work, and I just did it. And it, you know, like having that faith, I had more rapport, but like I was able to build rapport with strangers and stuff so much better. The confidence just came. It was incredible. It's like drastic changes happen, and you really start to manifest some cool, seriously. I can't, yeah. Anyway, I love how you guys have probably heard this saying before about get intelligent, don't get real. It's so true. Like, how many times have you heard? I know my mum's even said it to me before. I was in Nation Call in December, and mum's like, I don't think you're going to finish in December, Dannii. I think you need to get a bit realistic. Oh, yeah. Thanks, mum. Classic. I know she come from a place of love. She definitely did. She was worried about me working through Christmas. But anyway, what was I saying? Get intelligent, don't get real. And it's so true. Everyone's going to quickly tell you to get real. Get intelligent, understand your goals, understand the plan. So much more powerful than trying to be what people say is realistic. It's such a simple process. It really is a simple process. You just need to have more precision with it. So the way you set your goals last year, can you honestly say that you reviewed them daily and you had great precision? Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't. I know I definitely started to slip in the last 6 months. It's so powerful. It can be the ultimate biggest difference in your entire year. So your purpose in the goals, guys, is so much stronger than the outcome. You've got to know why they mean so much to you. Each thing, you know, if you set a goal about a relationship in your life that you want it strengthened, why? If you set a goal about where you want to be in your business, why? Get specific with that. Who do you want to make proud? How do you want to feel? Why do you want that freedom? You know, why do you want that lucrative income? How does it feel when you've got it? And also, guys, Tony Robbins says, and I have only recently started doing this, and I think it's so powerful. Also, in your whys, when you're writing your why, include why you don't want to, why, hang on, how can I word that? Include why you want to not miss that goal. You know, what will happen if you don't achieve that? What will your life look like in 5 years if you don't do that, if it doesn't become a reality? How are you going to feel? I love that saying, if you don't bring forward what is inside of you, what is inside of you will destroy you. It's so true. You feel your heart beating with excitement every day about this. And when you ignore it, by the end of the day, who feels a bit like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, well, I'll just watch another episode of Friends. I'm so honest. Anyway, keep on trickling on. So, I've already said all that. Oh, I love how Tony Robbins talks a lot too. I listen to Tony Robbins all the time. He talks a lot about not just focusing on things, but keeping your integrity as who you are. And that's so important as well, especially in our sort of business, because it attracts people like you and it attracts people with integrity, not people also just focusing on things. And that is a very strong leadership networking business, you know, and you'll have a business with people that you love and you're proud to do business with every day. Like, I get phone calls from my team. They could never annoy me. They could ring me at midnight. I love them all. They're so much like me. That's not a coincidence that I've sponsored people so much like me. It's who you are and it's what you attract. So hold that integrity really strong. Okay, where am I up to now? So set, review, and know why. Yeah? Boom, baby. So, want to know, I already said all that. I think I already said all that. Yeah, I did. Okay, so, you know, understanding your goal setting goes in line with understanding pressure. So I know myself, especially in last year just gone, having my 3 kids, and I've had a bit of an emotionally tough year in 2017. The pressure really got me, and I think I was starting to blame, and I love that saying that when you blame, you create a life of pain, and it's so true, like to really try to step back from that and try to understand that pressure is a privilege. When we feel them moments of pressure, you know why you feel that? Because you know you can do it. And you feel like, oh, I'm feeling that pressure to do this because I know in my gut I can make this happen. So understand that pressure is something that you need to create in your business. That pressure, if you've got no pressure, you'll have no motivation at all. Motivation comes from pressure. So you want to embrace that pressure. You want to learn to dance with the pressure, understand it, have your barriers, you know, be so clear about that. Be present in your life. You want to enjoy this journey. People aren't going to join you if you are so full of pressure and you look like a stressed out, crazy person who can't handle everything. That's like, no, I don't want a life like that too. Understanding goal setting and understanding getting out of your comfort zone, goal setting and pressure, working with pressure is so important. It's such a crucial part. And, you know, pressure makes diamonds. Yeah. So true. So master handling the pressure. And, you know, master is a great word even just on its own. Mastering all your elements of your business and understanding that mastering comes from doing things daily. What's that saying? I can't think of it now, but it's like consistency overpowers skill every single time, hands down. And it's so true. The more you do something, the better you get at it. So the more you embrace your, getting out of your comfort zone, the more you embrace your pressure as a privilege, the more you set your goals, the more you master these things, the most incredible, empowering leader you become. Sorry, guys, I'm not reading the chat bar at the second. I find it distracts me heaps. So I'll go back and read it at the end, if that's okay. So if you've got any questions, put them in the chat bar, and I'll go back at the end and answer them all. And, you know how I was saying putting in why, not just setting why you want to achieve your goals, but also setting why it's important that you do, because what you don't want to happen. That is what creates that pressure. That is what makes you understand that you're not where you want to be today. And that creates an incredible amount of motivation. So much motivation. And that's not supposed to be a gloomy thing, a beat yourself up, release the mean girl thing at all. That's just accepting that, you might look at your life and say, you know what, this area here, it's just not good enough. This is my one life and I want to make this area better. The moment you put that to paper and put out a plan for that is when everything starts to change. So in doing that, I've got a quick little exercise I'd love to do with you guys. It's just I just want you to write down 2 things. And the first thing is I want you to write down 2 areas of your life that you are dissatisfied with. Not, like I said, guys, don't feel bad about it. Be honest with yourself. Everyone has them. Don't compare yourself. Don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. Just accept them, see them and go, you know what? These areas of my life, they're just not good enough and I want to work it. I want to fix it. So it might be physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, relationships, business, just something. And be specific in them, and, get inspired. When you write that down, that means you can change it. It's a pretty powerful thing when you know it. And the second thing is I want you to write down what beliefs you need to take on and live by to achieve your goals and to help improve these areas of your life. Okay. So like I said, guys, I'll wrap it up now. In closing, I just want to stress to you what a great time it is now. It's a new year. It's a fresh year. It is such a great time to get it together. Yeah, that's how I felt. I got up and thought, this is my year to get it together and really start to move mountains. No more opportunities wasted. I love that. I was listening to a motivational speech and they always have a big dark man in it that's like, oh, and he's like, I'm going to say that again. No more opportunities wasted. And I'm like, yeah, in the car. It's so true. Grasp those opportunities. They're all around you, guys. They are all around you. If you're not seeing them, you're not growing. A part of you is not growing. If you're not seeing them, you're not reading enough. If you're not seeing them, you're not paying attention enough. Be alert, be awake. If you're blaming and you're stuck in that area, you're not going to see them either. You've got to step out of your comfort zone and you'll be like, I actually remember having a conversation with Stacey and I said to her, I cannot believe how many times I said to you, I've got no one more to offer the business to. I said it every day for like 2 years. I swear. They're everywhere. But you just have got to get out there and believe that they're there. I love this. This is from Jim Rohn. This is one of my favorite all-time quotes. I'm going to say it slow so you can write it down because it's so important. You can have, hang on, let me say that again. You can have more than you have got because you can become more than who you are. If you remain who you are, you're always going to have what you've got. So true. Hey, anyone want me to say it again? You got it? Thumbs up if you want me to say it again. Oh, okay. I'll say it again. You can have more than you have got because you can become more than who you are. If you remain who you are, you will always have what you've got. Be willing to make the change. As Jim Rohn says, everyone knows this, I'm sure. I can even hear him saying it. For things to change, you've got to change. If we blame, our life goes into pain. If one of us can do it, we all can. So true. And you know what? Why not now? Why can't 2018 be your year? The only thing standing in the way is you. And you know, I wanted to share something with you guys tonight. It's a bit personal, and I've had an emotional last couple of weeks. Who said that? Oh, Jim Rowan. Jim Rowan. I've lost a couple of loved ones this year, and you know, in the last couple of months, and it's been exceptionally tough. I've really struggled to get through that. And I was just thinking today, one of them, a really dear friend of mine, she used to make the most exquisite candles. She made them all from scratch, and she was they were very personalised, so you could give her a quote and stuff, and she would put it on there. And I was in the process of helping her create a Facebook page so that she could you know, really create something big. And she was just the most creative person I have ever met. She could so in tune, like she could write songs, write music, and no one ever knew. No one knew. You know, I used to go over and see her all the time and just listen to her play the guitar and pick up the beautiful candles and things like that. And I thought, and you know, I also thought about my auntie and things that I remember her telling me she wanted to achieve, things that she wanted to see in life and go, and never did either. And I thought, why is it? I wonder why they never did that. And then I thought about the things that I want to achieve. And I thought, and the things that I wanted to achieve last year and the year before that, and what was stopping me. And I realized it comes from a feeling of worthiness so much. To be 100% honest, for me, I just didn't feel like I was worthy for the things I didn't achieve. I felt like I was worthy for the things I didn't achieve. And I know my auntie and my friend, they struggled with that too. And it held them back so much. If only they knew how worthy they were, like I did, they would have moved mountains too. But it really takes a conscious effort, guys, a really conscious effort to go out there and find what you want to do, what you want to do for the rest of your life. And it can literally save your life. Like I was saying about people going to work and doing jobs they hate, and how boys, you know, your self-esteem and everything that goes with that. You have to find your dream, and you have to not let that go. You've got to revisit it daily, revisit why you're doing it, why this dream means so much to you, to be able to really achieve that next step in life. So I want to challenge you guys, just in closing, to think about, you know, in comparing last year to this year, to think about how much time you spent working on you, really truthfully. How much time did you spend doing that? How much time did you spend every day working on your dreams? That stuff's important. And in the last 90 days, how many books have you read? In that last year, in 2017, what new skill or knowledge did you acquire? You have to make a conscious effort. You have to let go of fear and self-esteem. What you're doing now isn't all you can do. You're doing what you believe you're worthy of doing. And you're worthy of so much more, and you know it. That's why you're on this call. I'm so proud of you for being on this call, because it takes courage to step up to this sort of stuff and have a look in it and see if it's for you and see if your dreams can become a reality. Fear is the most subtle and destructive of all human disease. It's a hypnotic spell with no benefit. So true. It's false evidence appealing real. Zig Ziglar, my mate Ziggy. He's a legend. If you haven't heard of him, look him up, check out his stuff, because he's so awesome. Constantly monitor and start talking to yourself right. Build yourself up instead of down, because you guys and my beautiful friends that won't have a chance to go for it again, you're so worthy of achieving everything that your heart desires, everything that you stick on that vision board, everything that you write down and goal set. Far out. You can do it, and you better believe it. You've got to back yourself all the way. That is it from me tonight, guys. I love y'all. I better check out the comments and see if there's any things in there. If anyone has any questions that they want me to answer right now, just unmute yourself and yell it out, basically. Oh, oh, thanks, guys. Your comments are beautiful. Loved chatting with you all. So cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah. I don't think there's anything in here I need to. All right. I'm going to go. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for plugging in, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Go set some big goals. Bye.